Have you ever noticed how some Taurus people can seem cold on the outside, even though they're known for their caring nature? Today, we'll reveal the 5 deepest emotional wounds that cause a Taurus to create an invisible armor around their heart. If you know a Taurus who seems distant or even insensitive, prepare to understand what's really going on behind that cold mask. These wounds are like scars on the soul that few can see. And if you're a Taurus, you might recognize yourself in every word we're about to say here. Don't leave now, because this information will completely change the way you see this sign. You'll discover why they're so secretive, and how this protectiveness they create may be hiding a greater sensitivity than you realize. Stay until the end, because the last wound we'll reveal is the most surprising of all. Wound 1. The first wound that leaves Taurus cold inside is the betrayal of trust. For Taurus, trust is not only important, it's sacred. When someone breaks that trust, especially someone close to them, it's like a piece of their heart is ripped out. Imagine a person who has always believed in others' words, who has never doubted the intentions of those they love. Suddenly, they discover they've been deceived, betrayed, or manipulated by someone in whom they placed all their faith. For Taurus, this isn't just a common disappointment. It's a deep crack in their emotional structure. What happens after this betrayal is devastating. Taurus begins to question everything and everyone. The once open and receptive person becomes suspicious and cautious. They build sky-high walls because they'd rather be alone than risk feeling the searing pain of betrayal again. And so they become increasingly cold, not out of malice, but out of pure self-defense. Wound 2. The second wound is abandonment in moments of greatest vulnerability. Taurus is a sign that takes time to open up completely, but when it does, it gives its all. When this surrender is met with abandonment, the wound is deep and lasting. Think about those moments in life when we need someone most. A crisis, a loss, a moment of weakness. The Taurus who trusts someone to be by their side in these moments and ends up being abandoned carries that scar forever. It's not just the loneliness that hurts. It's the feeling that their vulnerability was used against them. After experiencing this, Taurus learns to never show weakness again. They become extremely self-sufficient, creating a hard shell that protects the sensitive core that was once hurt. To the world, they appear strong and unshakable, but deep down, they carry the certainty that they can only count on themselves. If you know a Taurus, be sure to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any content about the signs. And let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing where in the world our content is reaching. Wound 3. The third wound that hardens a Taurus heart is the constant devaluation of their love. Taurus loves in a practical, concrete way, through daily gestures and care. When this love is belittled or treated as worthless, the pain is indescribable. Imagine someone who shows love by preparing a special meal, organizing the house, working hard to provide comfort, and remembering important dates. And in return, they receive indifference, criticism, or the feeling that nothing they do is enough. For Taurus, who places so much meaning in every gesture, this is devastating. Over time, this person who once gave completely begins to withdraw their care. They stop making those special gestures, stop trying so hard, and begin to seem cold and distant. It's not a lack of love, it's self-preservation. They learn to hoard their feelings because they're tired of seeing them wasted. Wound 4. The fourth wound is the constant pressure to change who they are. Taurus has a stable nature and likes to maintain their traditions, values, and way of being. When they are constantly pressured to transform into something they are not, it creates a deep wound in their identity. Whether in relationships where their partner constantly complains about how they are, or in environments where they have to pretend to be different to be accepted, Tauruses who experience this constant pressure lose their connection with themselves. They begin to feel inadequate, as if their essence is flawed. The natural reaction is to withdraw even further into their own personality, but now defensively. They become stubborn not on a whim, but as a way to protect what little remains of their original identity. This hardness they develop serves as armor against those who would forcibly mold them. Wound 5. The fifth and deepest wound that leaves Taurus cold inside is the sudden loss of security and stability. Taurus needs solid foundations to flourish, and when those foundations are shaken unexpectedly, the trauma is immense. It could be the loss of a stable job, the abrupt end of a long-term relationship, the death of someone close, or any situation that destroys the sense of control they so value. A Taurus who loses their footing feels like a tree uprooted. What's most striking is how they deal with this pain. Instead of seeking support, they often isolate themselves completely. They build a new version of themselves, tougher, more resilient, more closed off. It's as if they're telling the world that they'll never again allow anything or anyone to have such power over their emotional stability. Now you understand why some Tauruses seem so cold and distant. Behind this apparent hardness lies a wounded sensitivity, a heart that has learned to protect itself the only way it knows how. Which of these wounds do you think is the hardest to heal? Do you know a Taurus who bears these marks? Remember that acknowledging these wounds is the first step to healing. If you're a Taurus, know that it's possible to open your heart again without losing your natural protection. And if you live with a Taurus, be patient with this apparent coldness. Behind it lies someone who just needs to feel truly safe to shine again. Try again. Claude may make mistakes. Always check your answers. Search. Sonnet 4.